Hey guys, we're back with another video, and today we'll be talking about 9 movies from the 80s that are being remade. Let's admit it, old movies from the 80s just hit differently, and we've all thought they just don't make them like that anymore. But we're here to tell you that you can finally enjoy a remake of the classics soon. So get ready for modernized versions of your favorite flicks. Without further ado, let's dive right in. First off, we have Escape from New York. Escape from New York, a 1981 cult favorite featuring Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken, is set in a dystopian reality where bank robbers are recruited to defend the President of the United States. The project specifics are currently unclear as of yet, but it feels like they've got something fun up their sleeves. Director John Carpenter has been talking about it for years, but then came along his son, Wyatt Russell, who recently took up the part his father had originally started. The original story is set in 1997, when the United States and the Soviet Union are near the end of a tremendous war, and the whole island of Manhattan has been turned into a massive high-security prison. When Air Force One is hijacked and falls into the island, a gang of convicts kidnap the president. Snake Plissken, an ex-Special Forces soldier turned criminal, is hired to bring back the president in return for his freedom. Here's the catch though, the film has been in production since 2016, so don't get too hopeful because it doesn't seem like it's going to be released anytime soon. Still, if it does end up airing, it's definitely going to be one you'd want to watch, and with a higher budget and better graphics, the movie might be a good upgrade from the original. Moving on to the next movie that's being remade, Fletch. Remember this movie from the later part of the 80s? Well, if you've seen the original movie, congratulations, you're old. It's been almost 4 decades since it aired, and it's about time Fletch gets a remake. In case you haven't watched the original 1985 film, or if you've forgotten, we'll refresh your memories. Fletch is a Michael Ritchie-directed neo-noir comedic thriller based on Gregory McDonald's best-selling Fletch novels. The plot centers around Los Angeles Times writer Irwin Fletcher, who's given a substantial sum of money to execute a wealthy man with a terminal disease. Fletch becomes skeptical when he realizes the man is not unwell and his life is endangered if he continues to investigate. Viewers loved the original, and it performed pretty well at the box office. It has now gained cult status and was succeeded by a 1989 sequel, Fletch Lives. Now, Paramount Global Content has been given international distribution rights by Miramax for Confess, Fletch. The film will have a limited theatrical release, as well as a PVOD launch on September 16th, before showing on Showtime on October 28th, 2022. The sequel comedy noir, directed by Greg Mottola, from a script by Zev Boro, is an enhanced take on the Fletch character, inspired by Gregory McDonald's 1970 mystery books. Fletcher is played by Ham, who is also producing the film. Sounds like some pretty interesting stuff there. Next up, Akira. For over 2 decades, filmmakers have attempted to adapt Katsushiro Otomo's 1980s manga series and the 1988 cult film Akira. Since the studio purchased the rights to the project in 2002, it has gone through several directors and writers, ending with Taika Waititi taking over as director in September 2017. Now, Akira is getting the Hollywood remake treatment, along with some major stars and modifications. The anime film will be live action, which is one of the most significant modifications, and since Waititi is in charge of production, the film is guaranteed to come to life in a spectacular way. Warner Brothers even planned to release the movie in theaters on May 21st, 2021, only to ditch those plans when Waititi headed off to produce Thor: Love and Thunder first. But as of August 2021, the New Zealand filmmaker has said, "I'm still attempting to produce Akira. I'm not going to give up on it." So there's hope yet, guys. Don't stop waiting for the release because, fingers crossed, it will be released and it will be awesome. Then comes Commando. Commando, a 1985 film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, is considered a masterpiece in the actor's career. It's rumored that Schwarzenegger will be working on the remake and wants to bring his expendable co-star Sylvester Stallone on board. While nothing more is known about the sequel, including the release date, it's possible that it may be delayed owing to Schwarzenegger's packed schedule with other projects. Plus, the remake has been in the works for more than a decade, so you might want to brace yourself for a bit more of a wait. So, the original film from 1985 involves a retired Special Forces veteran, John Matrix, living in seclusion with his daughter Jenny. His peace is broken by former Commander Franklin Kirby, who informs him that his fellow soldiers are being slaughtered one by one. When Kirby leaves, Jenny is is abducted by the ex-Latin American dictator Arias, who needs the Matrix to return him to power. Instead, Matrix goes out to capture the rogue commander and save his daughter. It's full of humor and adventure and is completely over the top sometimes, but it's one we've all seen or at least heard of at some point. Hopefully, it'll be released soon because we can't wait. Moving on to the next film, Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon is a 1980 space opera movie directed by Mike Hodges and based on Alex Raymond's King Features comic series of the same name. It follows star quarterback Flash Gordon and his teammates Dale Arden and Hans Zarkov as they unify the planet Mongo's feuding tribes against Ming the Merciless, who is bent on destroying Earth. Gordon's reboot is another project from Waititi and should be as spectacular as the original. The original movie was animated, but the remake will be live action. Even the soundtrack was absolutely superb. Queen wrote the songs for the original sci-fi in the 1980s, but it's uncertain whether the band, with Adam Lambert as the lead singer, will come back to compose new material. Next up is The Toxic Avenger. The sequel of the 1981 classic of the same name follows a janitor who suffers a mishap and becomes the hero of his little town, with Peter Dinklage in the lead and an R rating. The adaptation of The Toxic Avenger should live up to the reputation of the previous horror action film. One interesting part of the remake is that 80s legend Kevin Bacon is expected to play the film's villain. This one has finished filming, so a release isn't far away and will air any day this year, so keep an eye out for updates. Moving on to Alien Nation. Alien Nation, a 1988 sci-fi action film starring the final James Caan as Matthew Sykes, part of a human and alien police pair, with Mandy Patinkin as the alien officer. The adaptation by filmmaker Jeff Nichols was originally planned to be a movie starring Michael Shannon, but it will now be released as a 10-episode television series. This is definitely a good thing because technology has come a long way from what it was like in the 80s, so there will be a lot more to cover in the remake. Also, there are rumors that the remake won't really follow the same storyline and will be more of an inspiration from the original. We don't really know how we feel about that, but let's see. After a long time under production, the banger is set to release soon. Second to last on our list is Big Trouble in Little China. Big Trouble in Little China, a second Kurt Russell remake, depicts a trucker called Jack Burton as he battles a magician in Little China. Russell is not expected to return for the reboot at this time, and Dwayne Johnson is expected to star instead. You can never go wrong with The Rock, right? He might be from a different genre of actors, but Johnson says that this is one of his favorite movies to watch, and so he'd love to star in a remake. The original 1986 version, starring Kurt Russell and Kim Cattrall, only made $11 million in the United States, but it is regarded as a cult favorite and a cable television classic that fans can't stop watching from the moment it originally aired. It's funny as heck, and the weirdness of it makes it so much fun to watch. Let's see what the remake has in store for us. And lastly, we have Highlander. We really saved the best for last, and you're about to find out why. The original Highlander movie depicts the conclusion of an age-old struggle between immortal warriors through intertwined past and present-day tales. This story of an eternal Scotsman who sets out to defeat another eternal being is being reimagined, with The Witcher's Henry Cavill as the legendary immortal hero. Chad Stahelski, the director of the renowned John Wick movie, will direct the movie. Major swoon for Henry Cavill, because we just love to see him in The Witcher, and with Stahelski as the director for this film, it's bound to be amazing. This is definitely the one we are most looking forward to, and we hope you share our excitement. And that's a wrap for this video. Which remake are you most excited to watch? Do you think Akira's live action will hit the screen soon? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.